Hey everyone, and welcome to today's special Christmas episode. Whether you're spending the holidays with family, friends, or maybe somewhere far from home, we've got you covered. Christmas is a time for connection, joy, and making memories, but we know it can feel a little different when you're not where you expected to be this time of year.
Exactly, Adam. I think everyone has that moment when they realize they're far from home for the holidays, and it can bring up a lot of emotions, whether it's homesickness or just feeling like something's missing. But I've learned that Christmas isn't about being in a specific place. It's about creating your own sense of holiday magic, no matter where you are.
I couldn't agree more, Sophia. And I'm really excited about today's conversation because we're diving deep into how to celebrate Christmas when you're away from home. We're going to talk about everything from staying connected with loved ones to making new traditions and embracing local holiday customs.
Yes, I know firsthand what it's like to be away from family during the holidays. I spent my first Christmas abroad, and at first it was tough. But over the years, I've found some really meaningful ways to celebrate and create new traditions. It's about embracing the holiday spirit, even if you're far away from your usual celebrations.
Exactly. And for all of you listening, no matter where you are, whether it's across the globe or just a few hours from home, we're here to share some ideas and stories that'll help you feel connected, festive, and full of holiday cheer. So, grab your favorite holiday drink, settle in, and let's get started.
Absolutely. We're going to make this holiday season a little brighter, even if you're celebrating in a different way this year. Let's dive into some great ideas for making your Christmas feel special, no matter where you are.
All right, Sophia, let's jump right into it. For a lot of people, Christmas is all about being with family, home-cooked meals, and long-standing traditions. But what about when you're far away? It's almost like the holidays hit differently when you're not surrounded by all those familiar sights, sounds, and smells. Why does Christmas feel so different when you're away from home?
Oh, I completely get that feeling, Adam. Christmas is such a loaded holiday in terms of expectations. There's a deep sense of tradition, family, and togetherness. When you're away from home, all of that changes. It's not just about missing your family. It's about missing those small, familiar details that make Christmas feel right. The smell of pine needles, the sound of carolers, the holiday decorations in your neighborhood. All these little things we take for granted really make the season feel special.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just about being with your loved ones. It's the environment that adds to the magic. I think we associate these sensory experiences, like the lights on the tree or the music playing in the background, with the feeling of Christmas. And when you're far from home, it's hard to recreate that atmosphere.
Absolutely. I think what makes it harder is that Christmas is, in many ways, a family holiday. We're so conditioned to think that Christmas is about being with your loved ones, gathering around the tree and enjoying those shared traditions. So, when you're on your own, especially in a different country, it feels like something's missing. That feeling of togetherness and warmth.
Right. There's also a level of homesickness that creeps in. Even if you've been living away for a while, Christmas can really highlight how much you miss your family or your hometown. It's like the perfect storm of emotions, missing your loved ones, being reminded of all the traditions you can't do this year, and feeling that distance in a very real way.
Exactly. And it's not just about missing your family, it's missing your place. The familiar places you would visit at Christmas, the local markets, the food you would eat, even the weather. All these elements that contribute to your sense of home during the holiday season. It's a lot of change all at once, and that can be tough.
It's definitely an emotional roller coaster. And like you said, it's okay to feel those emotions. The truth is, a lot of people feel that way when they're not home for Christmas. It's a holiday deeply connected to tradition and nostalgia, so it's natural to feel a sense of loss or longing.
Yes. And I think there's a tendency to feel guilty about those emotions, like you're not doing Christmas right if you're not surrounded by family. But honestly, that's just part of the experience. It's totally normal to feel homesick or a bit disconnected, especially when Christmas feels like such a family holiday. What's important is that you don't shut down those feelings. Acknowledge them. Understand that they're a part of the process, and then figure out how you can still make the holiday your own.
Exactly. A lot of people put pressure on themselves to create a perfect holiday or try to replicate what they would do at home, but sometimes that just leads to more stress. I think the key here is to give yourself permission to feel the way you do. If you're missing your family or those Christmas traditions, it's okay to embrace those feelings. But also remember that it doesn't take away from the holiday. You can still create joy and meaning, even if you're away.
Absolutely. And this is something I've learned over the years. Being away from home during Christmas doesn't mean you can't experience joy. It means you might need to approach the holiday in a different way. You might need to carve out new traditions, maybe even something that feels a little unconventional at first. But what makes Christmas special is the spirit of love, togetherness, and gratitude. And that can absolutely be achieved even when you're far away.
That's so true. And I think when you're away from home, it forces you to get creative with your celebrations. You start discovering new ways to make the holiday feel festive, whether it's by connecting with new friends, exploring local holiday traditions, or just creating your own version of a perfect Christmas. It's a chance to really rethink what Christmas means to you personally and how to make it meaningful regardless of where you are.
Exactly. And when you start embracing the situation and make it your own, you'll find that your heart still feels full, even if the setup looks different. Plus, Christmas is a time to reconnect with what really matters. Whether it's the people in your life, the values you hold dear, or even just moments of gratitude and peace. That's the essence of the holiday, and you can carry that with you no matter where you are.
Right. So, for anyone feeling a little down about being away from family or missing their usual holiday traditions, remember that it's okay to feel that way. But also know that this is your opportunity to create something new, something special, and you don't have to do it alone. There are so many ways to stay connected and make Christmas joyful, no matter where you are.
Exactly. And by the end of today's episode, we'll have some great ideas to help you make this holiday memorable, even if you're far from home. So don't go anywhere.
Now that we've talked about why Christmas feels so different when you're away from home, let's dive into how we can make this holiday special, even when things aren't exactly as we imagined. Sophia, how can we start to personalize our Christmas experience when we're away?
Great question, Adam. The first step is to embrace the fact that this Christmas doesn't have to look like every Christmas you've had in the past. It's an opportunity to create new traditions and find new ways to bring the holiday magic to your life, wherever you are.
That's a really important point. So how do we go about creating these new traditions and making the experience feel special?
Well, one of the easiest things to do is to start by bringing elements of your personal holiday traditions into your space. It doesn't matter how small it is. Maybe you don't have a full tree, but you could get a small one or even a few candles with holiday scents. It's those little touches that can help create the festive feeling you're looking for.
Yeah, I love that idea. It's the small things, like decorating your space, that can make a huge difference. And it doesn't have to be extravagant. It could be something as simple as hanging up some fairy lights, putting up a few ornaments, or even making a DIY advent calendar.
Exactly. You can make it as personalized as you want. Another idea is to write down a list of what makes Christmas special for you. Maybe it's a specific dish, a song, or even an activity. Once you've got that list, try to incorporate at least one of those things into your holiday plans. For example, I make it a point to bake a certain type of cookie that my family always makes together, even if I'm far away. It's a way to honor that tradition and bring it to life no matter where I am.
That's such a great idea. It's not just about trying to replicate what you had at home, but finding ways to honor the traditions that are meaningful to you. Even if you're making the cookies by yourself, there's something comforting about doing it because it reminds you of home.
Exactly. And you could even turn it into a fun project. If you're staying somewhere with friends or co-workers, why not host a small holiday baking session? It's a great way to share traditions with others and create new memories with people you may not have spent holidays with before. It's also a way to stay connected to your culture, even if you're in a completely different setting.
I love that. Sharing traditions with others can make it feel like you're still part of a larger celebration. And speaking of connections, let's talk about one of my favorite parts of the holiday: the music. Setting the tone with some Christmas tunes can really transform your environment, don't you think?
Absolutely. Music is such a powerful way to evoke emotions. Whether it's traditional carols or your favorite Christmas playlist, music can create that holiday vibe no matter where you are. I love putting together a playlist of both familiar and new holiday songs. It's a perfect way to set the mood when you're decorating, cooking, or just relaxing.
Great point. And if you're feeling nostalgic for home, you could create a playlist of songs that remind you of your family traditions or childhood Christmases. Even though you're not physically there, it's a way to feel connected to home through sound.
Exactly. And let's not forget about the power of holiday movies. Watching a classic Christmas movie, even if it's by yourself, can be such a comforting experience. It's a simple way to unwind, enjoy a piece of home, and get into the Christmas spirit. I make a list of all my favorite holiday movies and work my way through them throughout December.
That's such a cozy idea. I think what's key here is that Christmas doesn't have to be about creating a perfect replica of what you would have at home. It's about taking those meaningful aspects and adapting them to your current situation. You get to make this holiday your own.
Exactly. And one more thing I'd recommend is creating a personal Christmas ritual. It could be as simple as writing down your thoughts or doing something that gives you a moment of peace. For me, I take time each year to reflect on the past year, write down my hopes and goals for the year ahead, and spend a few minutes of quiet reflection. It brings a sense of closure to the year and helps me appreciate where I am in the present moment.
I love that idea of reflection, Sophia. Christmas doesn't always have to be about the big celebrations. Sometimes the most meaningful moments can come from quiet, personal moments of reflection or gratitude. And those small rituals can be what really make your Christmas feel authentically yours.
Exactly, Adam. Whether it's through cooking, music, movies, or personal reflection, the goal is to make Christmas feel significant to you. And if you're open to it, this can also be an opportunity to experiment with new traditions that you might carry on in the future, blending your old with the new.
Yes, it's all about creating something meaningful, not just replicating what you've always done. This year, embrace the chance to make Christmas your own, wherever you are. All right, now that we've covered how to personalize your Christmas experience, let's talk about staying connected with family and friends, especially when you're far away. One of the hardest parts of being away during the holidays is not having those face-to-face moments with the people you love. So, how do we bridge that gap, Sophia?
That's a great question, Adam. Staying connected during the holidays can be one of the most important things you can do, especially when you're away from home. Thankfully, we live in an age where technology makes it easier than ever to stay in touch. So it's really about finding the right ways to make those connections meaningful, even if you can't be there in person.
Exactly. Technology is a huge help. Let's talk about some practical ways to stay connected. What are your go-to methods for keeping in touch with family and friends when you're not home for Christmas?
Well, one of the most obvious but effective ways is video calls. I think we've all experienced that moment where we're opening gifts or having a meal, and we're able to virtually share it with loved ones, whether it's through Zoom, FaceTime, or Skype. It really helps to see their faces and hear their voices. I try to schedule a few video calls throughout the day, maybe in the morning to wish them a Merry Christmas, and then later for a virtual holiday meal or gift exchange.
That's such a great idea, especially when you can't be there to physically share those moments. It helps to feel like you're part of the day, even from afar. And I think video calls help to bridge that gap between being away and still being present in the moment.
Exactly. And if video calls aren't possible because of time zones or schedules, you can still stay connected in other ways. One thing I've done is exchange heartfelt voice messages or even send short, personalized video clips. Sometimes, it's a little bit more special than a text because you get to hear your voice and tone, and it feels more personal.
I love that idea, sending little video messages or even just quick updates throughout the day. It's a nice way to stay in touch and feel like you're sharing those holiday moments, even if it's not live.
Yes, and if you're someone who's into social media, this could also be a great way to connect with family and friends. Sharing photos or stories of your holiday setup, your local celebrations, or a fun holiday activity you're doing can invite your loved ones into your experience. You can even share a post with a holiday greeting and update your family and friends all at once.
That's a great way to share your holiday cheer and keep everyone in the loop. It's a good mix of feeling connected and still keeping it personal, without the pressure of being online all the time. But let's also talk about the value of scheduling these connections. It's easy to let time slip away with all the holiday chaos, right?
Absolutely. I think that's where scheduling comes in. It's easy to get distracted or overwhelmed, especially if you're trying to balance work, new traditions, and maybe even adjusting to a new place. That's why I always recommend setting aside specific times to catch up with loved ones, whether it's for a holiday chat, exchanging updates, or even just catching up on how their Christmas is going. It helps make sure you're staying intentional about the connection and not letting the day get away from you.
Right. So it's about being mindful of making that space for the people who matter. It's not about having a perfect conversation, but just about checking in and being present with them, whether it's a casual text or a more scheduled call.
Exactly. And remember, it's the quality of the connection that matters, not necessarily the quantity of calls or messages. A heartfelt, meaningful exchange, even if it's just a quick call, goes a long way in making you feel close to the people you care about.
That's such a good point, Sophia. So, aside from staying in touch with family, what about making new connections while you're abroad? Sometimes being away from home gives you the chance to meet new people and build new friendships, which can be especially meaningful during the holidays.
Right. If you're abroad, it's a great time to connect with locals or other people who might also be spending Christmas away from home. It could be your co-workers, neighbours, or fellow expats. You might even consider joining local holiday events like Christmas markets or community gatherings. Not only does it help fill the void of missing home, but it's also a chance to explore new traditions and bring some diversity to your holiday celebrations.
I love that. It's so true that the holidays are about connections, and even if you're away from family, those new friendships and experiences can make the season feel rich and meaningful in new ways.
Exactly. The key is staying open to creating new connections, whether they're virtual or local. You never know. This could be the start of a new holiday tradition that you carry with you year after year.
That's such a good perspective. So, to wrap up this segment, whether it's through video calls, voice messages, social media, or meeting new people, the important thing is staying connected. It's about showing up for the people you love and making sure they know you're thinking of them, even from miles away.
Absolutely. And with all these ways to connect, there's no reason to feel distant, even when you're far from home. So make that effort, whether it's a quick message or a planned virtual dinner, because it'll help make your Christmas just as joyful as if you were sitting right there with them.
Now, let's shift gears a bit. One of the unique benefits of being away from home during Christmas is the chance to experience new holiday traditions. Sophia, what are your thoughts on embracing local Christmas customs when you're abroad?
Oh, I absolutely love this topic, Adam. Being away from home gives you the perfect opportunity to dive into local holiday traditions and discover something totally new. It's not about replacing your old traditions, but rather enriching your Christmas by blending in the local flavors, sights, and sounds that you might not have experienced before.
Exactly. Every place has its own unique way of celebrating Christmas. Whether it's the food, the decorations, or special activities, it's a way to make your holiday feel special and immerse yourself in the local culture. Have you ever experienced any cool local traditions when you were abroad during Christmas?
Oh, definitely. Last year, I spent Christmas in Germany, and let me tell you, the Christmas markets were unlike anything I'd ever experienced. They're all about community, with tons of food, crafts, and mulled wine. I had such a great time walking through these markets, enjoying the decorations, and even picking up some handmade ornaments to bring home. It was so different from what I was used to, but it made me feel like part of something special.
That sounds amazing. Christmas markets really seem to be such a big part of the holiday season in many European countries. And it's incredible how traditions like that can transform the entire holiday atmosphere.
Absolutely. It's the energy of the community coming together to celebrate, and it's such a beautiful thing to experience. Another thing I've enjoyed is seeing how different countries decorate for the holidays. For example, in Spain, many people celebrate with huge nativity scenes, and there's a huge emphasis on family gatherings. It was eye-opening to see how traditions vary from country to country, and it helped me appreciate the beauty of their way of celebrating Christmas.
I think that's one of the best things about being abroad during the holidays, getting the chance to see how other cultures celebrate. For instance, in Mexico, Christmas celebrations often last for several weeks, and the holiday culminates with La Nochebuena, Christmas Eve. The focus is really on family, community, and food, with a late-night feast followed by dancing and celebration.
Yes, that's such an important point. Christmas isn't just about the big day. In many cultures, it's a season, not just an event. And when you're abroad, you get to experience the holiday over a longer period of time, which can help you feel more connected to the spirit of Christmas, even if you're not with your family.
Exactly. And there's something so special about participating in these local activities. Whether it's making a traditional dish from that culture or attending a local holiday festival, you get to feel like you're really part of the community and the holiday season. You can make those experiences your own by engaging with them in a personal way.
Exactly, Adam. One tradition I always enjoy is trying out new recipes. If I'm in a new country, I love cooking a dish from the local Christmas menu. It's a great way to bring the local culture into your home, and the best part is that you get to share the food with new friends or even invite other expats over. It's a bonding experience.
That's a perfect way to share the joy of Christmas with others. I've also heard about people taking part in local holiday volunteer opportunities. Whether it's helping out at a soup kitchen, participating in a toy drive, or organizing a community event, volunteering can give you a sense of purpose and connection to the community. It also allows you to bring some holiday cheer to others while you're away from home.
Absolutely. Volunteering is a wonderful way to give back and create meaningful connections with the people around you. It can be really fulfilling to see how your small contribution can make a difference to others, especially during the holiday season when many people are in need.
I love that. And even small acts of participating in local events or simply interacting with locals can open up new experiences. For example, in some countries, it's common to go caroling, attend a midnight mass, or enjoy a festive parade. Being open to these experiences lets you take part in the local culture and make Christmas feel even more special.
Exactly. It's about embracing these traditions and seeing them through a new lens. Christmas, at its core, is about connection, community, and joy. So, even if you're far from home, you can find these same values in the traditions of the place you're staying. And in doing so, you might even find a new tradition you love that you'll carry with you long after this year.
I couldn't agree more. By exploring the local traditions and truly embracing them, you're not just having a different Christmas. You're having a richer, more diverse experience that helps you appreciate the global spirit of the season.
Yes, and don't be afraid to dive in. Even if you're not familiar with a tradition, try it out. Whether it's lighting candles, cooking a new dish, or singing a local carol, you might discover a new part of Christmas that you've never experienced before.
Exactly. The key takeaway here is that Christmas is universal, but the way people celebrate it around the world is incredibly diverse. By immersing yourself in these local traditions, you're adding layers of new meaning to your own holiday experience. So don't just watch from the sidelines, get involved and make it your own.
Exactly. It's all about celebrating the spirit of the season And sometimes the best way to do that is by embracing the culture around you. So this Christmas, don't just sit back and miss home. Step into the local festivities and make the season memorable in your own unique way.
Now, let's talk about something really important during the holiday season: the gift of giving back. While we often focus on giving presents to our loved ones, Christmas can also be a time to think about how we can give back to others, especially those who might not have as much. Sophia, how do you think we can incorporate this into our holiday celebrations when we're far from home?
Such an important question, Adam. Christmas is all about generosity, compassion, and connection. And giving back doesn't have to mean giving expensive gifts or large donations. It's more about the spirit of giving and making an impact, no matter how small, especially when you're away from home. It can be so fulfilling to use this time of year to help others and spread that holiday cheer to people who need it most.
That's so true. And there are so many ways to give back that don't require being physically present or having lots of resources. What are some of the ways you've given back even when you were far from home?
One of the first things I try to do is volunteer locally. Many communities organize charity events, toy drives, or food donations during the holiday season, and it's a great way to get involved. Even something as simple as spending an afternoon helping at a soup kitchen or a homeless shelter can make such a difference. You're giving your time, which is just as valuable as giving money or gifts.
That's such a beautiful way to spend the holiday season, especially when you're away from family. It's about connecting with the local community and bringing some Christmas joy to those who might need it most. And it's a chance to make new memories by sharing kindness with people you might not even know.
Exactly. And I think it's also important to remember that giving back doesn't have to be big or formal. Sometimes the small gestures can mean just as much. For example, you could pay for someone's coffee, send a card to a lonely neighbor, or offer to help someone with their shopping. It's about creating those moments of connection and kindness, no matter how simple.
I love that. It's the little things that can truly brighten someone's day. And you don't even have to spend money to give back. There are so many ways to offer your time and energy. One thing I've done before is to gather a group of friends or co-workers and organize a holiday care package for people in need. Even if you're not at home, you can still send a little bit of love from afar.
That's such a wonderful idea, Adam. You could easily partner with local organizations to collect food, clothing, or hygiene products. It's a way to get involved and make a tangible impact, and it's a great opportunity to bond with new friends you've made while you're abroad. Plus, it's a reminder that no matter where we are, we can make a difference.
Exactly. And I think giving back also helps us feel more connected to the holiday spirit. When we give to others, whether it's our time, attention, or resources, it strengthens our sense of purpose and gratitude. Even when we're away from home, we can still make the season special by lifting others up.
Absolutely. It's all about creating a ripple effect of kindness. And honestly, helping others can be so much more rewarding than receiving gifts. The joy you feel when you see the impact you've made in someone's life is unmatched. And the great thing about giving back is that you don't have to wait for a special event or season to do it. You can carry that spirit with you year-round.
I couldn't agree more. Giving back is something that should become a part of our daily lives, not just something we do during the holidays. But Christmas is a perfect time to kickstart those giving habits and remind ourselves of the joy that comes from sharing.
Exactly, Adam. And here's something I've done in the past that's always been meaningful. I've donated to charity in someone's name instead of buying them a gift. It's a way to honor both the holiday and the person by making a positive impact in their honor. You can choose causes that are meaningful to you or the recipient, and it's a gift that keeps on giving.
That's such a thoughtful idea. It shifts the focus from material gifts to a more profound and lasting contribution. And when you give a donation or support a cause that's close to your heart, it reflects the true meaning of the holiday season.
Exactly. The act of giving is about spreading love, care, and generosity. Whether it's through your time, your resources, or even a simple act of kindness, It's a way to make Christmas feel meaningful, not just for you, but for everyone around you.
So, to wrap up this segment, while Christmas is often about giving and receiving presents, let's not forget that the true gift of the season lies in sharing our time, energy, and kindness. Even when we're far from home, there are endless ways to give back, make a difference, and truly feel connected to the spirit of Christmas.
Exactly. And remember, every act of kindness, no matter how small, counts. So, let's spread some love and joy, not just through gifts, but through actions that will touch the lives of others.
All right, Sophia. We've covered a lot of ground in how to stay festive and celebrate Christmas away from home. But now, let's talk about something that's often harder to address: homesickness. Being away from family and friends, especially during the holidays, can really bring those feelings of longing and sadness. But today, we're going to focus on how to overcome homesickness with something really powerful: gratitude. How do you think gratitude can help with homesickness?
I think gratitude is such a key tool, Adam. It might sound counterintuitive at first, but focusing on what we do have rather than what we don't can shift our mindset completely. Homesickness often comes from focusing on what we're missing: family, traditions, comfort. But if we can train ourselves to recognize the good things around us, even in a new place, we start to feel more connected to where we are.
That's such a great point. It's easy to get wrapped up in what we're missing, but shifting our attention to the positive aspects of being away can help us feel more grounded. Have you ever practiced gratitude in those moments when you're feeling homesick?
Yes, absolutely. One thing I do is to keep a gratitude journal. It's a small but powerful habit. Every evening I write down 3 things I'm grateful for, whether it's a meaningful conversation with a friend, a cozy experience like watching a holiday movie, or even something small like a delicious meal I had. Focusing on these positives helps shift my energy and brings me back to the present moment instead of getting lost in the feeling of missing home.
I love that idea. It's so easy to overlook the little things that can make a big difference in our day, but when you actively search for them, it completely changes your perspective. And for those who might not want to keep a journal, even just taking a moment to pause and reflect on the things you're thankful for can be incredibly grounding.
Exactly. Another way I like to practice gratitude is by thinking about what I can bring to my new environment. Instead of just feeling like an outsider, I try to focus on how I can make the most of my time here. Maybe that's giving back to the local community, connecting with new people, or learning about a new culture. It's about recognizing that I have the ability to make my current situation meaningful, even if I'm far from home.
That's such a powerful shift in mindset, turning homesickness into an opportunity for growth and contribution. And you're right. Focusing on what you can give back or how you can connect with your surroundings helps you feel less isolated and more engaged.
Yes. And don't forget, gratitude also helps in recognizing how much we've grown. If you're away from home during Christmas, think about how far you've come in adjusting to a new place, new people, or even learning how to create your own traditions. You're building resilience and strength, which is something to be grateful for.
That's an amazing way to look at it. Being away from home, especially during the holidays, is tough, but it's also a chance for personal development. We learn new skills, become more independent, and often discover parts of ourselves that we didn't know existed. Those are huge wins, and gratitude can help us truly appreciate that growth.
Exactly. And another thing I like to do is to focus on the relationships I do have, even if they're not with my family. It's easy to feel lonely when you're missing home, but sometimes we overlook the connections we've made in our new environment. Maybe it's a close friend you've met, a supportive coworker, or even a neighbor who checks in on you. Recognizing and appreciating these people can help combat feelings of isolation.
That's such a good point. Relationships are so important, and sometimes we get so caught up in missing the ones back home that we forget to nurture the new connections we're building. Even just reaching out to a friend or having a small chat with a local can remind us that we're not truly alone.
Exactly. Gratitude isn't just about being thankful for the big things. It's about noticing and appreciating the little moments and relationships that are right in front of us. It helps us stay grounded and shift our mindset from one of lack to one of abundance.
I think it also helps to remember that homesickness is normal, and it's okay to feel sad sometimes. It's part of the process of adjusting to being away. Gratitude doesn't erase those feelings, but it does help us find balance and perspective. Sometimes, simply acknowledging that we miss home and then finding things we're grateful for helps us manage the tough moments.
That's a great way to put it, Adam. Gratitude isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about embracing both the good and the hard, and finding peace in the process. It's a tool for resilience, and it can really help us navigate those moments when homesickness feels overwhelming.
So, to wrap up this segment, homesickness is tough, especially during the holidays, but practicing gratitude can make a huge difference. By focusing on the positives around us, whether it's through journaling, connecting with new people, or recognizing our personal growth, we can shift our mindset and feel more at peace with being away from home.
Absolutely. Gratitude helps us find joy in the present and recognize how much we've already gained, even if we're missing the past. It's a reminder that we're capable of adapting and creating new, meaningful experiences, no matter where we are.
All right, Sophia, we've talked a lot about staying connected to old traditions and finding creative ways to feel festive. But now, let's dive into something that can truly redefine the way we experience Christmas: building new traditions. This is one of my favorite parts of celebrating the holidays away from home. It's an opportunity to get creative, make memories, and start something that could last a lifetime. What do you think?
I completely agree, Adam. New traditions are like planting seeds for future joy. They don't just help you make the most of the moment, they can also evolve into something meaningful that you look forward to every year. And what's great is that you have the freedom to create traditions that fit your current life, wherever you are. So, tell me, what's one new tradition you've started when you've been away from home?
One of my favorites is hosting a Christmas around the world dinner. Every year, I pick a different country and cook traditional holiday dishes from that culture. Not only is it fun to try new recipes, but it also feels like I'm learning and celebrating the global spirit of Christmas. It's become something I really look forward to.
I love that idea. It's such a great way to bring variety and curiosity into the season. For me, one tradition I've started is writing a letter to my future self. I reflect on the year, what I'm grateful for, and what I hope for in the coming year. Then, I seal it up and save it to open next Christmas. It's such a grounding and reflective practice, and it makes each holiday feel connected to the next.
That's such a beautiful idea, Sophia. It's like creating a time capsule for your own growth and journey. And it's also a reminder that traditions don't have to be extravagant to be meaningful. They can be as simple as lighting a specific candle, playing a certain song, or taking a walk in nature to reflect on the year.
Exactly. And I think new traditions are even more special when they're shared with others. For example, if you've made new friends in a different city or country, why not start a holiday game night or a Secret Santa exchange? It's a way to bring people together and create a sense of community, even if you're far from home.
That's such a great point. Traditions have a way of fostering connection, and when you're away from family, building those moments with new people can be really comforting. Another idea I love is documenting the season in a unique way, like creating a holiday scrapbook or filming a little video diary of how you're celebrating. It's a fun way to capture memories and look back on them in the future.
Absolutely. And let's not forget that new traditions can also involve giving back. Maybe you start volunteering at a local shelter or organizing a small charity drive in your community. Acts of kindness not only make the holidays brighter for others, but also give you a deep sense of fulfillment.
That's such a meaningful suggestion, Sophia. Giving back can become a tradition that defines your holiday season in the best way. Another idea I've seen people embrace is planning a reverse Christmas wish list. Instead of asking for gifts, they make a list of things they want to give to others, whether it's physical presents, acts of service, or even just quality time.
I love that. It turns the focus outward and reminds us of what the season is truly about: connection, generosity, and joy. And speaking of joy, one tradition I think is really underrated is simply making time for yourself. Whether it's reading a book by the fire, binge-watching holiday movies, or taking a long walk in a festive area, creating personal traditions can be just as meaningful as shared ones.
That's such an important reminder. Sometimes we get so caught up in the idea of doing things for others or making everything perfect that we forget to nurture our own joy. Having a personal holiday tradition, even something as simple as sipping cocoa while journaling, can be a way to center yourself and recharge.
Exactly, Adam. And here's the thing, traditions don't have to be set in stone. They can evolve over time as your circumstances change. Maybe what starts as a small personal tradition grows into something you share with others down the road. Or maybe it stays just for you, and that's perfectly okay.
That's so true. New traditions should feel authentic and adaptable. The key is to focus on what brings you joy and meaning in the moment. And when you do, you're not just surviving the holidays away from home, you're thriving.
Beautifully said. Adam. So, for anyone listening who's feeling a little lost this holiday season, remember this. You have the power to create something new. Whether it's big or small, shared or solo, new traditions are a way to honor where you are in life and build something that you can carry forward for years to come.
Absolutely, Sophia. Traditions are the memories we create intentionally, and there's no better time to start building them than right now. So, go ahead, experiment, have fun, and make this Christmas one you'll always remember. Sophia, one thing I've noticed, especially during the holiday season, is how easy it is to get caught up in the hustle and bustle. Whether you're running around buying gifts, attending events, or just dealing with the emotional ups and downs of being away from home, it can all feel overwhelming. That's why I think mindfulness is so important during this time of year. What does mindfulness mean to you during the holidays?
That's such a great point, Adam. For me, mindfulness during the holidays is all about being present and intentional. It's about slowing down to actually enjoy the moments, instead of rushing through them. When we're mindful, we give ourselves permission to feel all the emotions, joy, nostalgia, even homesickness, without judgment. It's a way of grounding ourselves in the present, rather than getting lost in what we wish was different.
Exactly. And I think mindfulness helps us break away from the checklist mentality of the holidays. You know, where it's all about getting things done, decorating the tree, shopping for gifts, preparing meals, without really enjoying any of it. Have you found any specific practices that help you stay mindful during this busy season?
Definitely. One of my favorites is starting the day with a moment of stillness. It could be meditation, deep breathing, or just sitting quietly with a cup of tea and thinking about what I'm grateful for. This simple practice helps set the tone for the day and keeps me centered no matter how busy things get.
I love that idea. Starting the day with intention is such a game changer. For me, I've found that taking short mindfulness breaks throughout the day makes a big difference. Even if it's just 5 minutes to step outside, take a few deep breaths, and notice the sights and sounds around me, it really helps me reset and stay present.
That's so true, Adam. And mindfulness doesn't have to be a formal practice. It can be as simple as focusing on what you're doing in the moment. For example, if you're decorating your home, take time to notice the colors, textures, and memories associated with each decoration. If you're baking, savor the smells and enjoy the process instead of just rushing to get it done.
Absolutely. It's about transforming everyday moments into something meaningful. And I think mindfulness also helps us manage the emotional side of the holidays. When we're away from home, it's easy to dwell on what's missing, but being mindful allows us to acknowledge those feelings without letting them take over. It's like giving yourself space to feel, but also to appreciate what's good in the here and now.
Exactly, Adam. And another thing mindfulness does is help us let go of unrealistic expectations. Sometimes we get so caught up in wanting the perfect holiday, whether it's recreating traditions from home or trying to match what we see on social media, that we lose sight of what really matters. Mindfulness reminds us that it's okay if things aren't perfect. What matters is the meaning and connection behind it all.
That's such an important point. Perfectionism can really steal the joy of the season. But when we practice mindfulness, we learn to appreciate the imperfections. They become part of the story, part of the experience. And that's what makes the holidays memorable.
Absolutely. And let's not forget that mindfulness also helps us savor the good moments. Whether it's enjoying a quiet evening with a holiday movie, spending time with new friends, or even just walking through a festive market, being fully present in those moments makes them so much richer.
That's so true. And for anyone listening who's feeling overwhelmed or disconnected during the holidays, mindfulness can be a great starting point. It's not about doing more, it's about doing less, but with greater presence and intention. Even small changes like pausing to appreciate the decorations in your home or listening to your favorite holiday music without multitasking can make a big difference.
Exactly, Adam. And here's a tip for anyone who's new to mindfulness. Start small. You don't have to meditate for an hour or completely unplug. Just pick one thing each day to do mindfully. It could be eating a meal without distractions, journaling your thoughts, or even just taking a mindful walk and noticing the beauty around you.
That's a great suggestion, Sophia. Mindfulness doesn't have to be complicated. It's about finding little moments to reconnect with yourself and the present. And when you do, the holidays start to feel less overwhelming and more meaningful, even if you're far from home.
Exactly. So, to everyone listening, this holiday season, give yourself the gift of mindfulness. It's a simple yet powerful way to stay grounded, appreciate the small joys, and navigate the emotional ups and downs with more ease and grace.
Well said, Sophia. Mindfulness is truly one of the best tools we can use to make the holidays more fulfilling, wherever we are. So take a deep breath, slow down, and enjoy the moment. It's what the season is all about. Sophia, we've talked about mindfulness, new traditions, and staying connected. But there's another perspective I think we should touch on: gratitude. And not just for the happy moments, but for the challenges that come with spending Christmas away from home. It might sound strange to be thankful for difficulties, but what do you think?
I think it's such an important mindset to explore, Adam. Challenges are often what shape us the most, even if they don't feel that way in the moment. Being away from home during the holidays can be tough. There's no denying that. But it's also an opportunity for growth, resilience, and learning to find joy in unexpected places. Gratitude for those moments can transform the way we see the season.
Absolutely. I've experienced that firsthand. The first Christmas I spent away from home, I felt so lonely and disconnected. But looking back, I realized that it pushed me to connect with new people, step out of my comfort zone, and create memories I wouldn't have had otherwise. That year taught me how to adapt, and I'm genuinely grateful for it now.
That's such a great example, Adam. Challenges often force us to see what we're capable of. For me, one Christmas when I was living abroad, I had to work on Christmas Day. At first, I was upset. It felt so unfair. But I decided to make the most of it. I brought in treats for my co-workers, and we created our own little celebration at the office. It turned out to be one of the most heartwarming holidays I've ever had. I'm grateful for that experience because it showed me that the spirit of Christmas isn't tied to a specific place or tradition. It's something we carry within us.
That's a beautiful story, Sophia. And it's such a great reminder that gratitude isn't about ignoring the difficulties. It's about seeing the silver linings and appreciating what those challenges teach us. Even homesickness can be a gift in a way. It shows us how much we value the people and traditions we're missing, and it makes us cherish those moments even more when we're reunited.
Exactly. And I think when we approach challenges with gratitude, it changes our energy. Instead of feeling stuck in what's missing, we start to focus on what's possible. For example, being away from home might push you to explore new cultures, connect with new friends, or even spend time reflecting on your own needs and dreams. Those are opportunities we might not take otherwise.
That's so true. And gratitude doesn't just benefit us, it can inspire others. When you embrace challenges with a positive mindset, it creates a ripple effect. People see how you're navigating the season, and it encourages them to find their own reasons to be grateful, even in tough times.
Absolutely, Adam. And let's not forget the simple act of expressing gratitude. Whether it's thanking the friends who invited you to a holiday dinner, sending a heartfelt message to family back home, or just writing in a journal about what you're thankful for. It's a practice that helps us see the good in our lives no matter where we are.
That's such an important point, Sophia. Gratitude doesn't have to be grand. It's about recognizing and appreciating the small things. Maybe it's the kindness of a stranger, a quiet moment of peace, or even the chance to try something new this holiday season. When we focus on those moments, the challenges feel less overwhelming.
Exactly, Adam. And for anyone listening who's feeling weighed down by homesickness or other struggles, I'd encourage you to try this. Think of one challenge you're facing right now and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How might this make me stronger or more compassionate? You might be surprised by the answers.
That's such a powerful exercise, Sophia. And it's a reminder that challenges often come with hidden blessings. We might not see them immediately, but when we look back, those moments of growth and resilience often become the most meaningful parts of our story.
Exactly. So this holiday season, let's embrace gratitude not just for the joys, but also for the challenges. They're what help us grow, connect, and appreciate the beauty of life, even when it's not perfect.
Beautifully said, Sophia. Gratitude is the key to transforming the way we experience the holidays, and it's a gift we can give ourselves no matter where we are. So, to everyone listening, take a moment today to reflect on the challenges you're facing and find one thing to be grateful for. It might just change your perspective in the best way possible. Sophia, as we wrap up this incredible conversation about celebrating Christmas away from home, I think it's the perfect time to talk about looking ahead. The holidays naturally come with a sense of reflection, but they're also a chance to start envisioning what we want for the next year. How do you feel about using this time to create a vision for the year ahead?
I love that idea, Adam. The end of the year is such a unique time. It's like we're standing at a threshold between the past and the future. It's a chance to pause, take stock of where we are, and set intentions for where we want to go. And honestly, creating a vision doesn't just give us direction, it also fills us with hope and motivation as we step into a new chapter.
Exactly. And the beauty of doing this during the holiday season is that we're already in a reflective mindset. Whether you're thinking about what you're grateful for or missing traditions from back home, this is the perfect time to channel those emotions into something constructive. So, Sophia, what's one way you start crafting your vision for the year ahead?
For me, it starts with journaling. I take some time to reflect on the past year, what went well, what didn't, and what I learned. Then, I write down how I want to feel and what I want to focus on in the coming year. It's less about rigid goals and more about creating a picture of the life I want to build. What about you, Adam?
That's such a great approach, Sophia. I do something similar, but with a bit of a twist. I create a vision board. I'll gather images, quotes, or even objects that represent my goals and dreams for the year ahead. It's such a fun and visual way to map out what I want, and it keeps me inspired throughout the year.
I love that. Vision boards are such a creative way to connect with your aspirations, and I think what's key here is to make sure your vision is deeply personal. It's not about what society says you should want or what others expect of you. It's about what truly resonates with your heart.
Exactly. And I think a helpful exercise is to imagine yourself a year from now. What does your ideal day look like? What are you proud of achieving? How do you feel? This kind of visualization helps you get really clear on what matters most to you.
Absolutely. And once you have that clarity, the next step is breaking it down into smaller, actionable steps. A vision is powerful, but it's the little things we do every day that bring it to life. For example, If one of your goals is to stay more connected with loved ones, maybe that means scheduling regular calls or writing letters.
That's so true. Small, consistent actions are what turn dreams into reality. And here's another tip. Don't be afraid to include non-traditional goals in your vision. Maybe it's about cultivating a sense of peace, prioritizing self-care, or exploring a new passion. The vision doesn't have to be all about big achievements. It can also be about how you want to feel and grow as a person.
Exactly. And let's not forget the importance of flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes our goals and visions need to evolve. The key is to stay open and adaptable while staying true to what's most important to you.
That's such a great point, Sophia. And as we're talking about creating a vision, I think it's also worth mentioning the value of sharing it with others. When you share your aspirations with someone you trust, it not only helps you stay accountable, but also invites support and encouragement.
Absolutely. And it can be so empowering to talk about your dreams with someone who believes in you. It reminds you that you're not alone in your journey. Plus, you might inspire them to think about their own vision for the year ahead.
Exactly. So to everyone listening, take this holiday season as an opportunity to dream big and create a vision for what you want in the next year. It doesn't have to be perfect or set in stone. Just start with what excites you, what matters to you, and let it evolve from there.
And remember, the most important thing is to honor where you are right now. Celebrate your progress, embrace your dreams, and step into the new year with an open heart. The future is yours to create.
Beautifully said, Sophia. Here's to making this holiday season not just a time of reflection, but a launch pad for an amazing year ahead. Let's all take that first step today. Sophia, this has been such an incredible conversation. We've covered everything from embracing homesickness and gratitude to building new traditions, practicing mindfulness, and even creating a vision for the future. I feel like there's so much inspiration packed into this episode for anyone spending Christmas away from home.
I couldn't agree more, Adam. And to everyone listening, just remember, wherever you are, the spirit of Christmas isn't tied to a specific place or tradition. It's about connection, gratitude, and making the most of where you are right now. Whether it's finding joy in local celebrations, giving back, or simply reflecting on your own growth, there's always a way to make this season meaningful.
Absolutely. And if there's one thing we want you to take away from today's episode, it's that you have the power to create your own holiday magic, no matter the circumstances. It's not about replicating what you're missing. It's about embracing where you are and making it your own.
Well said, Adam. And to all our listeners, we'd love to hear from you. What are your favorite ways to celebrate the holidays when you're away from home? Do you have any tips, traditions, or stories you'd like to share? Drop us a message or connect with us on social media. We'd love to continue the conversation.
Yes, please do. And if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might need a little holiday cheer this year. Every share helps us reach more people and spread more positivity.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Wherever you are in the world, we're wishing you a season filled with joy, connection, and a sense of peace. You've got this.
Until next time, take care, stay mindful, and make this holiday season your own. We'll see you in the next episode. Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays!